Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Infiltrate podcast presented by Infiltrate Records. Super stoked. I've got Deya. She's absolutely amazing. She is with us today. She is going to be talking about her new single coming out called Don't Blink, which I've had the privilege to hear ahead of all of you guys. I feel very privileged. And it's coming out. And thank y'all for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell, share this out. Make sure that we run this song up because I've been blessed by it and you will be blessed by it. So thank you for tuning in and let's welcome Deya. What's up, Deya?
What's up? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for your time. You're a mommy. You've got all these things going on. You're a wife and you're doing music and like we're doing all of these things in the midst of our chaos, but I'm
Yeah,
proud of you and just super honored like to be a part of this song and to hear it come to life and what you've created. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
cool. Yeah, so this song, along with all the other songs that's going to be on my debut album, have all come out of grief.
Yep.
So, losing my dad last June um, was a really tragic and traumatic event for me and my family.
Yep.
It was just completely unexpected. And my dad was healthy. Like there was just no warning signs, like no heads up at all. And so that really like rocked my world. And so, writing music has been a way for me to process through my grief. And specifically the song that I'm going to be releasing, Don't Blink. This one was a little different for me because I had started with like a completely different like chord progression, completely different melody. But the first lyric that I wrote was I blinked and my whole life changed.
Mm.
So it was like in the blink of an eye, like my whole life changed.
Mhm.
And so that was kind of the starting point for this song. And at that point, I felt like I had like a pretty good concept of what I wanted to write on.
Mhm.
And I hopped on the computer and kind of started going at it. I was trying to find like a sound that was more moody. I wanted it to kind of have that like you want to listen to it when you're on a car, like a drive. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
So I found the right sound as far as the keys go, and I really just started playing around with the idea of like, okay, don't blink because if you blink, everything could change.
Mhm.
Um, and so I wrote the hook first, and kind of like built the song around that concept of if you blink, everything could change. So that's kind of where
Yeah,
it started.
that's awesome. Is that your process when writing a song? Do you build the hook and build around it? Because that's what I do.
Yeah, so it really depends on the song. In this particular case, I started with I knew it was the hook because it was catchy, it was repetitive.
Yep.
And the verses and the bridge actually were freestyled. So I
Mm.
didn't sit down and like try to come up with words. I really just let it flow out of me. And to be honest, I write a lot of my songs that way. If I can come up with some kind of chord progression or figure out what key I want to write the song in, um, most of my music comes just from my heart and I freestyle a lot of it and then I fine tune it. Um, if certain like words don't match up. But with this one, it was just kind of flowing. And like the first verse and the bridge are both freestyled and I kept them exactly how I did whenever I initially like sang it.
Mhm.
Um and then from there I looked at okay, now I need a second verse and I compared like I tried to follow like similar cadences.
Yeah.
So I try to match like the amount of syllables in each line,
Yeah.
even if it's a little bit different of a flow, but just to try to like mirror the verses so that it can, you know, be recognizable as a verse. So,
Sure.
yeah,
I love it. I have a similar way of writing too. Like I'll hear something, it's catchy, and then I will stuff will just like bubble out of me. It's like
Yeah.
spontaneous worship, and then that's how I write. Like I don't know what I'm gonna write, but I always for me, I always pretty much build around the chorus. I feel like the chorus is my home. I
Mm.
feel like it's my foundation, and I've got a solid foundation, and I'm building up my walls and my roof and everything that encompasses that house. And I'm sticking around the house, of whatever that topic is. In this case, in your case, it's don't blink. If it's whatever I'm talking about, that's kind of what I base it around. And then when I do my bridges too, it's kind of like those are taking me over the mountaintop, over the valley. We're
Yeah.
through the storm. We're fighting. We're gonna win, and we're getting there. But that's cool
Yeah.
to know how you write. Everybody's got a different process sometimes, but
Hmm.
you can tell
Definitely.
through your music and through this song that like the Holy Spirit just inspires it. And even when you worship, and I've like been a part of worship sessions that you've done and worshiping the stuff, like God just oozes things out of your spirit. So that's
Yeah,
awesome. I
definitely.
was proved that way.
Yeah, and I'm kind of similar in the idea of like I want the bridge to be like the climax of the song,
Mhm.
which is pretty standard for songwriting. I do sometimes like to like switch it up and write outside of the box. So I do like to challenge myself. Those types of songs I don't always want to release because they are a little different. But we'll see now that I'm on a roll, releasing music and stuff. We'll see if I bring some of those guys out. But yeah, I writing and music and all of that it's definitely inspired by the Holy Spirit. It's definitely a way and a gift that God has given me in order to just process, like so much of grieving is processing what you've experienced and trying to get an understanding and a grasp of life now as it is with everything being different. Um, and that's kind of like the starting point of this song is that everything's different. And the biggest thing that I've learned in going through grief is that I have no control over anything. God's in control. I can think that I'm in control. I can think I know that I have tomorrow, but really tomorrow's not promised to me. And so it's really just a song about that illusion of control is so dangerous because when you feel like you're in control, then you start to move in life like you you can do whatever and you don't have to like, you know, seize the day, I guess you can say. But like you just don't know what the day holds. You don't know what tomorrow holds. And to be in the moment and to be present and to be
Mhm.
just locked in with the community in your life, the family in your life, the things that God has given you, and to not let that aspect of feeling like you have control stop you from pursuing the things that God has called you to do and
Yeah.
building deep relationship in your life.
That's so good. That's I don't want to give away too much, but that's the opening line, right? Everything is
Yeah.
different now.
Yep.
Everything's different now. Yeah. I remember when I remember getting the phone call too about what happened with your dad, and I was at church, and it shocked me. It was just so unexpected. And the song, when I listen to it and have seen it through its process, um, it's like, yeah, you aren't promised tomorrow,
Yeah.
and um, you've really got to cherish the moments that you have with those that God gives you and your family and those important to you. Really, I say don't cast your pearls before swine, type thing. Like, don't waste your time on things that sometimes are irrelevant in this life. Enjoy
Yeah.
the time that you have because it could be gone in a moment. So the song really touches me. I want to transition into talking about something I think that's so cool about this song. And I had a part of it was like watching your growth from your writing, even the production of the song. So you did the production from your home, and
Yeah.
like you literally took it upon yourself to learn the program and to learn things. And like, you played everything, like
Yeah.
you've taken some ideas from some people that you trust and stuff, which is cool, but you've taken the bones and the guts of the song and you've brought it to life. And then we got into the studio and it really brought it to life. And it's just been really cool to see. So I love it because not a lot of people have the gifting to be able to do that, to be
Mm-hmm.
able to not only just sing your songs, not only write your songs, but to produce your songs. So you have actually produced your songs, which is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so
How is
I think it's like maybe the 3rd song that I produced, and it has been really, really fun for me to learn. I have a pretty good foundation when it comes to, like, music theory, I guess you could say.
that?
I
Mhm.
have a good understanding of, like, major keys at least.
Mhm.
And so knowing what key I'm writing the song in, knowing the feeling, I think that that's really the biggest area of growth for me because I can kind of make the guts of the song, like the bones of the song before I bring it to the studio, it
Mhm.
gives me time to play around with different sounds. It gives me time to figure out, okay, how do I want this song to feel? Like, what do I want people listening to this song to feel? And because music really is like a song, like, can make you feel some type of way. And so I just wanted to kind of learn and play around and just not be afraid to make mistakes. And I have grown a lot because I'm using Soundtrap, which is a really user-friendly program. Thanks to you for recommending that to me.
No problem.
But yeah, yeah, so it's user-friendly. I always start with the keys because that's like my wheelhouse. So I kind of just lay down that track. And then I go from there and figure out, okay, what kind of beat do I want this to have? What kind of feeling? Where is it gonna kind of build? Where is it gonna be kind of more bare? And that's kind of what I did with this song. Um, I kind of wanted that lo-fi type feel to it, but
Mhm.
not a full lo-fi, but kind of just have that inspiration.
Sure.
And I feel like I accomplished that. And then you get into the studio and because I know where I started and where I want it to go, I'm able to articulate that, and we can pull out the beat, pull out the bass a little bit more, add some more things in there on the
Bring it
keys.
to life.
Yeah, really just kind of bring it full circle. So, um, it's been really enjoyable for me. In the past, I've loved music my whole life. I've tried to put songs out there. I've worked in the past on a couple of projects and they turned out beautiful, but I always told my husband the thing that's missing for me is I want to be there like during the production side of things.
Yeah.
And so I was working with someone kind of more remote and that was difficult because it was hard to articulate what I wanted the song to feel, because I can't like you can't get inside my head. I have to
Yeah, and vice
figure
versa. Vice
Yeah,
versa.
yeah.
Yeah. That's why
Yeah.
even doing the song, like, at the beginning, we were like, "Okay, cool, you'll send it over and we'll look at it, or Bishop will look at it," but there's nothing like being in the studio together
Yeah.
and bringing it to life. And the cool thing is that, like, we've been able to develop, and I wanna to aspiring artists, you need a good team around you. Like, you need
Yeah.
a team of people that you trust and that get you, and then, like, when God aligns it, the things will come out the way that they need to come out. The
That's
mastering,
right.
everything will come out. But most importantly, like, the team is very important. There's so many programs that are out there. What you need to focus on is that the sound is getting through properly, right? That there's not
Yeah.
latency and things like that. But I mean, there is everything that you want nowadays. There's no excuse to not get drum patterns and loops, and we can be more creative than ever, right?
Yeah.
Nowadays. So it doesn't matter if you're using Fruity Loops or Pro Tools or Studio One or Soundtrap or whatnot. You want to make sure that what you're trying to do is get sound into the computer. You're trying to get that WAV file as good as you can. And if that
Mhm.
is laid down and you have the best mix, then the mastering will be easy. If you
Yeah.
if you have a bad mix, then there's only so much I can do on the master. So I'm just like, I'm proud of you, proud of it to be like a part of it and to see it come to life. And you can feel the genuineness and you can feel what you've been through that song. And when listeners hear this, there are going to be people impacted that are going to be able to feel the grief that you went through due to the situation that happened.
Yeah, definitely. And I think
I
too
love it.
the song is like can move beyond grief too. It's
Yeah,
just it's about life, you know?
it's
Like
about
you
life.
just don't know. You just don't know what's going to happen in life. And so it's all about being in the moment.
Hmm.
So but yeah, it's definitely been a fun journey. I can't thank you enough. I love being a part of Infiltrate Records.
Um,
It really is a community. It really is everybody cheering you on. Everybody wants to see you succeed. Whatever that looks like for you. And I think that that's what I love is that I
yeah,
have a space where I can really grow as an artist. I can really um, you know, just challenge myself and
yeah,
learning to produce has been really, really cool. I feel like it's opened up the opportunity for me to really find my sound as an artist. And so I feel like I kind of have found my lane of where I want to be as an artist. And that is really, really exciting. So,
thank you so much. That means a lot. Thank you for your kind words. And that's what we want. We're starting, so things will develop and grow and we'll make changes and we'll adapt. But everything, and that's what God was showing me, everything with Infiltrate, everything is there for somebody that they need. Everything is there. Just people have to put in the work and the time to learn and
yeah.
to do some of those things individually. But if people can get the sound that they want, that's really all that you need. That's really what you need. And I love it. We're in a day and age where you don't need a record label taking your masters, and you don't need them fronting you all this money that you have to owe whether you produce or not. And that's what we don't want to do. And that's one of the goals is like support one another, be there, share
Hmm.
it out. How can you best support is by helping one another. And that's what I want to point out here is that's why we're doing this podcast. If you're listening,
Hmm.
what's the best way to support Deya? Well, we're doing it here as a community, but also go to her website. Um, go buy the song off iTunes. An artist does not make as much money off of streams as they do if you go buy the track. Buy the track, support the artist, spend $2 on it. It is worth it. She has put far more time into that, and that helps sustain her ministry. And her music is going to help people through their grief, through life, through whatever they're going through. It impacts people. I will never forget when somebody said that they heard my music in Guam. I was like, what? Some school children heard my music in Guam. Some of the kids at Harvest heard the music. It has impacted their life in one way or another. That is what music does. And that's
Hmm.
what it does. And our gifts do that. But if you guys want to support, how do you do it? Like, follow Dea. In the description of this video will be her IG, will be her website, will be how you can download her song. Go and pre-save. If you really want to support us in what we're doing and you want to support our ministries and the music and all that stuff, go on and support, like, and share. Just sharing a story, sharing that stuff out, getting it amongst the masses is what we want to do. And that's what we want to do here too. We don't want to be gatekeepers. People, it's like there's so many gatekeepers and it's so hard to get your foot in. Well, you know what? If we can take back and create community and unity together, then people will take notice of that and say, dang, what are they doing? Well, we're supporting each other. You know, it's not about what I'm doing or about what the next person's doing. There's strength in numbers and strength in unity. And that's what, we hope God lines up and continues to bless. So if you want to support Deya, go to musicbydeya.com, and all her links are in the description of this video. Follow her on YouTube, download her song as well. It will be hitting on the radio and stuff. Is there anything you want listeners to hear or anything that they can do that I maybe haven't explained?
No, and share it with your friends.
Share with your
Share.
friends. Yeah. And
Yeah.
all of us here are going to be sharing out. We're going to be sharing our stories. We're going to be sharing on the label IG and all that jazz. And follow Music by Deya at on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook. It's on those platforms, and go to her website, subscribe, be a part of her mailing list, and just follow her. Her music is great. I can't wait for more to come out. So one last thing, what should outside of this single, I don't want to get too far ahead, but what should fans, listeners, people expect from you? What else do you have coming in the future?
Yeah, so I have a debut coming. The date is to be announced, but it will be in the next couple of months. So, really excited to put a full project out for you guys. I might drop one more single in between then, we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what you guys can expect, and then more music from there. Once I release my album, I am going to be doing a little living room tour. So, I'm going to be going into people's homes and playing the album live. And before I release the album, I'm going to do an exclusive listening party. So just a small amount of people can hear the album live before it even drops. So I'm super stoked about that, but more details on all of that to come. So if you're following me on Instagram or you keep up with my website, you'll be able to stay in the know for all of that stuff. So
Absolutely. Yep. And we'll make sure to share that out too. We're looking forward to it. A couple more songs are going to be recorded, and then she'll be having a full project ready for you guys to hear. So make sure you
yep.
follow, like, subscribe, all that jazz to her channel, to this channel. Stay in the know. We're going to continue to release and put out information. And we're just stoked about what you're doing, Deya. I can't wait. I'm excited.
Thanks.
So don't Blink, or you will miss her song, Don't Blink. It is amazing. She's put a lot of time into it, and you've done a great job. You and Brandon have done a great job with the media, the visuals, the kind of the build up, and some of the photos and things that you guys have taken and put together. You guys are very good at that. Y'all make a good team with that. So
Thanks.
like, subscribe, comment, hit the thumbs up, hit that notification bell. Tune in to the Infiltrate podcast. We have people on here all the time. We're continuing to shout out each other. We're continuing to support and help. But Don't Blink coming out ASAP. Follow Music by Deya on all platforms. And thank you for tuning in today. Till next time, Deya and myself, we are out. Peace.